Hello everyone, this is Mitch with an RC quick tip here about how to disconnect Dean's connectors. If you're an electric RC, you know how difficult it is to separate these things. It takes so much force. When you what you end up doing is you're deep in the plane, right? Everyone's been here. And you pull it apart and your hands snap back and you damage your plane, right? That's awful. Either that or you end up pulling back the heat shrink. Well, what you can do is you can actually make one of these Dean's connector separators with a clothespin, and it works very, very well. And I'll show you how to build one. And this is perfect for reaching deep inside your plane, and you just put it in there and pop, like that, and pull your battery out. Great. Okay, I'll show you what you need for this. I'm assuming you have your battery and your stuff all ready to go. Okay, so what you need, like a bag of these clothespins. You can get it for like $1 or $2 wherever, like a craft store or some store. Some nails, very small nails. These are really cheap, you know, just $1 or $2 wherever, like a hardware store. Wire cutters. You know, those are cheap too. Some super glue or CA or whatever. These are great. These are like $1 at Walmart for 4. So you can use that. Also, something to cut and drill with. I use a Dremel 300. Now, if you use a Dremel, you want to get the 300 series because anything below that is just a little lacking in power and versatility, and anything above the 300 is kind of going, you know, into the expensive range. This is like $40 or $50 at Walmart. It's a really good deal. You also want a cutting tip and a drilling tip. Of course, I already said that. So yeah, also your Dean's connectors, of course. Here's one that already has the holes. Okay, so what you want to do first, take your clothespin and cut it straight off, right there. You can sand it down if you want to get it even better. What drill bit you want to use is the 1/16 drill bit, and that is this one right here. Mine is a little dark. I think it had a little friction. It kind of charred it a little bit. Well, it's fine. What you want to do is take your nail. You want to take your wire cutters and cut the head off here. Aim it down so the head doesn't fly around. So you do that. Put that down, and then you take your drill bit, the 1/16, drill the hole squarely in there, you know, directly straight down on both of them. About, I don't know, about that deep or so. You do that, and what you do is you take, you want to use the end with the little texture on there. You want to put it down first so the glue has something to grasp onto. So you take 2 of them, and what you can do, you can, before you glue it in, you can use this to gauge. Let's take one out for now. You can kind of gauge it. So you want about, I don't know, 1/4 of an inch exposed, like that. And take the other one out so you have a little bit more room. About there. That one's somewhere, I don't know. That's a little uneven. Well, you'll probably get it a little bit, you know, closer, but this is just for demonstration purposes. I already made a couple, so I'm not going to put the glue in. It's just too messy right now. So you say you went ahead and glued that, put glue in and put it in and let it dry, whatever. and you have your Dean's connector. And also, of course, you use the 1/16 hole or drill bit to put a hole squarely in each one. You want to make sure to go between the plugs, of course. You want to keep them from hitting the tabs. That's really, really important. So this is pretty self-explanatory. Get it in there and pop it. And of course I didn't have it plugged in, so one of them came out. Whatever. What you want to do is you want to make more than one, just as a backup, just in case you lose it or it for some reason breaks. So I actually have two. I bring to the field because it's nothing worse than having it plugged in and not, having your thing. And of course the situation happens where, I previously explained, and of course everyone has probably been there if you have Dean's connectors. Alright, so that's about it. You got your handy dandy Dean's connector separator now. Isn't that awesome? So I use this all the time. Also a little note, of course you don't want your nail diameter to be any thicker than the 1/16, and you don't want it too thinner than that, because you want it to be strong and not bend under the pressure. You can also use something other than a nail, but I had a bunch of nails, so that's what I used. Just clipped it off, and that's what I did. Alright, so that's it for this quick tip. I've heard of guys using little textured Dean's bushings, or I don't know the name of them, but you put them on there and it has some extra texture to make it easier to pull apart. But this is just a little bit easier. You guys probably have nails and clippers and cutters around. If you do RC, you probably have all these tools, so it's easy to do. Also, one note: I've heard of the Hobby King knockoff Dean's connectors being a little bit cheaper. I've heard of a guy, LipoPilot, actually one of his Dean connectors separated. It actually split in half. So I wouldn't recommend, drilling a hole in there. It's split in half. So these are actual real Dean's connectors I got from a real RC vendor online. I think the name of the site was Toy Sonics. So yeah, I got a whole bunch of these. They were like $6 for a whole bunch. So I did that. So this really works. Alright, so I hope you appreciate this. Spread this video around and enjoy. Later.